Okay, welcome to TIBM. You are listening to The Brew. Hope everyone's having a good Tuesday night. We have our host tonight is BabyDool, TJ, and we're waiting for Nurse Patty. She can never park her damn broom. I don't care how hard that woman tries. She has trouble all the time.
I know. Oh, and I seen us some new brooms.
Perfect. We'll have to go shopping tomorrow.
Yep.
I have John's credit card, so we're all set. Welcome to The Brew again. This is Women in Transportation Hour, Community Hour, and you're viewing us on TIBN. So, share, hit like. Welcome everybody back tonight. Before we get going, we'd like to ask you to please support the following. Tough, Truckers United for Freedom. Please go on their website. If you're a driver, you will find a whole bunch of interesting things. You have Sovereign Roads with our friend Ron. He said that's another site to really look at. Truckers for Vets. We had Joe Beretta. That's awesome. Truckers for Christ. That is our buddy Scott Reed. He never calls in on Tuesday night. Truckers Back the Blue. Very interesting. Trucks with Room to Spare. Truckers Final Mile. And, of course, rightload.com. And Real Women in Trucking. Desiree and her group. Really, they are on top of so many issues that the drivers just aren't getting it. Take a look at their website. And She Trucking. She Trucking just won an award. How awesome for her. We're so proud of her. She does a great job. These women really are out there doing something that, I shouldn't say this, maybe that a lot of the men aren't getting together. It seems to be a lot of the women's group, we all seem to work together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's amazing.
We're actually accomplishing something.
Yeah, amazing.
What's up with that?
But that's okay. We won't talk about dicks tonight, okay?
Oh, that's my favorite subject.
I know. But you can find our show on YouTube, Spreaker, and Twitter. And what's that new group we are now into?
What group? Sovereign Road?
Nope, the one, John, we just started.
You're talking about the Truckers United for Freedom social media group?
Yes. Take a look in that because there's a lot of information. If you're a new driver, that's always something to go. A couple interesting things. We have so much to talk about tonight. I mean, it's been, I have to tell you, another hell of a week. This is our third week of being back in school, and I have to tell you, it's tough. It's really tough. I think I'm getting some type of chemical poisoning from all the cleaning. I don't think people are made to be antiseptic all day. It's something else. But first of all, let's just tell you something really quick that's happening. The U.S. Department of Transportation announced the funding availability for a Port Infrastructure Development Program. They have come out with a whole thing on that. The funding will provide $230 million to strengthen and modernize ports. How about a little share of that out there to help us?
Truckers out.
Yeah, well,
we need all the money.
I mean, there's a whole article on the port infrastructure, and we can take that up again later. And the other thing I wanted to talk about tonight is companies out of California, and I want to say it was Arizona and another state, are now helping Tesla becoming more into autonomy. They're going to start trying to find ways to help them out, to bring them back into the highways to make sure it's safe. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I think that's going to work. Hi, Linda. Hi, Vicky. How you guys doing tonight? Hey, Jean. She's a friend of mine, too. All our friends are joining us.
You heard about them mandating the mask wearing while
yes,
drivers?
I have something. The truck drivers now have to wear their mask all the time when they're alone in the truck. But I have some interesting news for all you folks tonight. There are some new masks coming to America, and I don't know if I can get John to show this after. Well, I got to tell you, this is what it's about. This is how it goes. What about the times you need to eat or drink, but you have to wear a mask? Conservative YouTube host Mark Dice comments on the new trend coming to America from Europe of the nose mask. Yes, that's right, guys. People are actually wearing masks that only cover the nose for use in restaurants and around people in cities. You really have to see that. She put it up. You have to see that to believe that. Dice also highlighted a hilariously ridiculous company, and it's called Nosy, who is trying to make a buck off this new trend. They have created nose masks that may be coming soon to America. At least, if you only breathe through your nose, you have cleaner air going in and out. Don't laugh. Or maybe you prefer the American HEPA filter for your nose. One YouTuber took a chance at a product review. If you need a laugh or maybe a cringe, look it up on YouTube, guys. Because, maybe Dr. Fauci should take a look with his continually being covered by 2 or 3 masks at a time. It could serve as a new update with his ever-changing COVID health regulations. Of course, people like the climate czar John Kerry won't wear them anyways, but some of the millions in America failing the mainstream mask-wearing type hype might go for, yes, masks can help, but nose mask? Dice says he's not sure, but something to check out regarding the new mask coming to America. So, guys, go on YouTube and check out the pictures. This is absolutely hilarious to see these masks on people. And speaking of masks, if you go to Alaska, the governor of Alaska came out today and said, all done, no more masks. This is a bunch of bull. He said some other words, and I'm not sure. Last time we had to watch our swearing because
I went to jail again today because I said bitch.
Yep, she's in jail again, so hi, Bruce. So anyways, he said no more masks. And Texas is leaning the same way. They figure with all these all these illegals, they are not migrants. When migrants come to this country, they come with a green card, they come with a whole dossier, who they are, where they're from, and what shots they've had. These are illegals crossing our border. And unfortunately, the children are being... It's horrific to watch these children suffer the way they're suffering. Okay? He feels in his state, the great state of Alaska and the great state of Texas, that by wearing a mask is irrelevant now because they have all these illegals coming. And if they don't put them on the illegal children, and they're flying these children out on planes out of Texas, and they're flying them to different states. No mask, no COVID tests, no testing of any type. We don't know if they've had shots. We know nothing about them. And on a sadder news, over in the Middle East, there were 2 nurses that were killed, were shot by some Al-Qaeda because they were giving out polio shots free to children. So not only do we have to worry about COVID, but now with all these illegals coming in, there's been another outbreak of polio. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a terrible out there right now.
Did you see the video with Ted Cruz that went down to the border and was taking videos of the kids in cages? Did you see them wrapped up in tinfoil?
Well, they have those tinfoil blankets, and they're very warm. But what bothers me the most about it is we've heard for 4 years how horrendous this was for these people. Hey, Miss
Patty.
We can hear you.
Hello, ladies.
So
sorry that
that's okay.
This laptop. I don't know if it's Comcast or the laptop or what.
Oh, I have Comcast. But anyway,
we're having issues with Comcast because we're having problems too.
We had Oh, we're echoing now.
We're echoing.
John, we're echoing. We'll have to tell our producer.
TJ, I've never seen the feather on your hat before. The light is wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
I never saw those.
This Nurse Patty. And we're talking about, for the last 4 years, in the media, every day, how horrific it was for Trump to keep these kids in cages. But the media never reported that when Trump went out there to visit with his wife and his daughter and his whole entourage, they actually stayed. They provided blankets and food. They separated the kids. They separated them. You know, people, oh, that was cruel. No, it wasn't, because they separated the children that did not belong to any of the men or the women they were supposedly with. You know, I mean, come on, people. Right now, the cartel are selling children.
Yes.
The people that are bringing them across the Rio Grande in their boats, they're making big bucks on bringing these people to America. They're cheating those poor people out of their money. And then when they get here, they're thrown into those cages. They're thrown in there. There's hardly any food. There's hardly any water. There's no one to take care of these kids. It's terrible. And if I have to hear one more person say migrants, these are not migrants. Migrant workers come here all the time. And they're not coming this way.
Right.
Migrants are legal.
Yes, they have green cards.
Right.
They have green cards. They've gone through the process. They're here for the sole purpose of getting food from the fields to the farmer, to the trucks, to the highways to get to all of us. So,
my heart,
that's
no
problem. We have migrant workers right here in New Hampshire, right?
We do. We have the apple pickers. They come in the fall. They follow. Actually, most of the migrants, they follow this whole circuit. They go to Maine. They pick potatoes. They're in New Hampshire doing apples. They're in California. I mean, okay, that's a big business, and they're taken care of. They're provided housing. They have. I mean, they're taken care of. Yes. I feel so sad for these children. I feel so. My heart is absolutely broken that our president in the United States of America, they're playing this game with human lives.
Yep.
You know, they go home to their mansions every night in their little warm blankets. I'm sure it's almost time for JoJo's bedtime.
God, yes.
He gets his little jammies on. He's got his little hot milk, and he's all ready for bed. Now,
he's going to have his evening dose of Aricept, and then, his hot tea or hot milk. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, he's had his 3 meals today. Those little kids out there, we don't know what they're getting. We don't know what the sanitation.
If they're getting anything, hardly.
You know. It's terrible. I mean, it's an absolute crime. It's an absolute crime against humanity, and I'm surprised no one's bringing that up. But I'm going to say it's a crime against humanity.
It is.
No matter if they're illegal or immigrant or whatever, they're still human, and you got them laying in the floor wrapped up in tinfoil.
Listen, obviously, with this new administration, they don't care about human lives. Look what they did to our soldiers. Look what they did. Come here, protect us, but you get to sleep on a garage floor. Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. Jill Biden made them cookies. Jill Biden, are you going to bring your homemade cookies out to those 10,000, 11,000, 16,000 children?
But he put the illegals in the Holiday Inn.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's right. Right now, they're being flown out of these places because they have no room for them, so they're flying them to different states. The states, sanctuary states, have to take them, and unfortunately, it's another burden for that state because during COVID, there is no money.
That's right.
And God help the hotel establishment that has to deal with all
that. I just feel bad. I feel bad for the hotel people, but hopefully there'll be some kindness and some dignity for these kids because my whole fear is, are they being sold into the sex trade?
Absolutely. You know, that goes both ways. Parents are paying coyotes to bring them over, but also coyotes are paying parents for their kids for the purpose of trafficking.
Yeah.
So that, of course, I have no way to know what the percentage of each is, but that goes both ways. I mean, people, I know that this is desperate, but it certainly seems to be more humane to turn them back.
Exactly, it is humane to turn them back because
where they are, what's being done to them, and we're not doing it. That's his decision.
Yeah.
You know, what's being done to them is just exactly what you both have said. It is not respectful. It's not dignified, and it's above all, it is not humane. It's unconscionable for all of this.
A comment from Jean, and she had just said, and this is true, the U.S. can't even care for the children we already have.
In
our systems are already taxed. It is absolutely distressing. And you are absolutely correct. And I mean, Patty, when you were working in the school system, you saw how bad it was for these kids. And I think she's frozen.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
it's true. I mean, and they've got San Diego teachers in school for the migrant children, but the San Diego public school American citizens are not in school. I mean, you know, you can't piecemeal an education together like this.
Oh, absolutely not.
You can't take 5 days and say, okay, you kids come. It's chaos at best.
Absolutely, it really is chaos, and I feel bad because I see so many teachers that are in our school system. They're in school and they're working their butts off. And I'm not saying the teachers at home aren't, because this is really difficult to teach on a computer 6 hours a day. Well, 4 hours and whatever you have to put in, and then we're in school. We're doing the 5, all day. It's tough. It may be a half day, but it's hard. First of all, you're wearing masks. You have to social distance. You have every kid in the classroom has to have a computer on. So the teacher in the school system is watching the kids in front of her, and yet she has to watch the kids on the computer. I mean, there's only so many paras in a classroom to help out. So I feel bad. And then I got to be honest with you, this cleaning the desk, you know, I've had people coming up to me and saying to me, I don't feel good. Every day I leave here, I have headaches, I'm nauseous, I'm not feeling well. Well, I happened to pick up the bottle of cleaner that we're using, and of course, first thing it says, keep out of the reach of children.
And you're putting it on the children's desk.
Yeah. And it says if it gets on your clothes or your hands, quickly, you know, wash immediately. You know, we know if it anything splashes in your eye, you do the eye treatment. We all know that. That's basic common knowledge. But the other thing that bothered me, if you inhale this, seek immediate attention.
Yeah.
Get some fresh air and get some attention because it could cause problems.
But you got to do this every hour on an hour, every time you think that it needs to be done because of COVID.
So I mean, I feel bad. I mean, our administrators have been really good. Must be so hard. It must be so hard for our administrators to have to deal with this because they have to follow the same regulations, and they have to enforce it. And if they know it's right or wrong, it still has to come our way. So we're all trying to be patient about it. Leland just put in the chat that there are 60,000 homeless Americans. 600,000 homeless Americans that no one in the government gives a damn.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. But, you know, I'm not saying all 600,000 homeless people want to be there, but I do know a lot that would rather be on the street than to be anywhere else.
Yeah, when you're dealing with mental illness, that's different. Yeah. But I know there's families that are sleeping in cars, that are sleeping under the bridge, that are sleeping wherever they can sleep with their family because housing costs have gotten so high. And I understand that. And it's going to get higher because people, you know, Jean just said, our children need so much now, and that was pre-COVID. Never mind the mental illness that has happened. You're right. Like I'm just talking the mental illness now that's going on with our kids. Right. I got to tell you, it's happening to all of us. You know, even like I'll take for myself. When my mom passed, I can't grieve like I would normally grieve because there's so much going on constantly in my face.
Right.
You don't get that time just to relax and do what you have to do. It's a real tough situation. I can't imagine being a kid. You want to be with your friends. You can't be with your friends. You can't be with your relatives. You can't see your grandmother. You can't, you know, and if the parents are separated, do you spend 2 weeks with the dad, 2 weeks with the mom? Or what happens if dad or mom is an alcoholic and you have these kids? I mean, it's a nightmare out there.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's, well, again, I still remain faithful to my original thinking of, you know, this is all part of the plan to talk about divide and conquer and causing misery and angst and just, you know, the whole thing. But, you know, as for the cleaning product that you have to use, Tracy, at school, you know, people are not everyday common people. The rest of us, you don't use those at home, right?
No.
Cheryl, you don't use that. I don't use that stuff at home. I use the solution of 1 part bleach and 10 parts water.
Yeah, you use bleach and water. You can use vinegar and water.
School? I know that you have more traffic, but bleach and water has been proven to kill the virus.
There's been classes where there's been 3 kids in them, 4 kids, 7 kids. No. There's a couple of kids. There's a couple of classes that might have 14 or 16. But I mean, you know, give us a break. We're adults. We know what we have to do to protect ourselves and to protect our children. You know, like Jean said, some people, they're using the alcohol wipes, and that's fine too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, the majority of where I'm at, they've been using that spray, and we had one person that had to leave because she was ill. It's really a shame because she was a nice lady and she did a great job. No. But you know, I wanted to tell you, before we're going to move on a little bit because I got to ask you something. You know, people on the street, okay, they're asking, there's Lisa and Caddy from the Daily Caller. They went to the streets of Washington, D.C. to see if anyone could name something good President Biden has done so far. Now, can you name, if you guys, can you name, anybody that's listening, put it in the chat.
Please.
Can you name one good thing Joe Biden has done? Just one thing.
Just one.
Just take a minute. I'm going to think about this. Let me think.
It's been all over Facebook. This question's been all over Facebook, and I've not seen one person answer it.
I got one.
John's
got one. What is it, John?
Let's give somebody else a chance.
He was very, very entertaining falling up them stairs.
Oh, damn it.
You took my line. Yeah. Oh, I can't say that.
True.
I'll go to jail.
Wait a minute.
Not
Hold on.
twice, but 3 times.
Well, I have to tell you.
And I like the part where Trump was playing golf.
I am one of those people. I'm sorry. If you fall down, I will be there to help you. But I'll have a little smile and maybe a little giggle on because I can't help that. Yeah. I just can't help that.
Are you kidding? She'll help you after she picks herself up off the ground after she's done laughing.
No. Oh, so not true.
That's not true. You're right, Patty. That's not true.
So not true.
But anyway, so they went around, and some of the comments were, now, hold on to your seats. I think he's doing a fine job. Definitely an upgrade. I think it's pretty decent right now. But when we asked the question, wait a minute, what's one thing you think he's done well? The story changes. The person says, actually, I haven't been paying attention. Yeah, we kind of figured that when you think he's done a fine job. We got that. He's taken the vaccine rollout seriously. That cracks me.
Probably because he's making money off of it.
I'm not following up on him as much as I did Trump. And he's kept his calm in the midst of chaos. Yes, honey, he's kept his calm. He's so calm that he doesn't even know what the hell is going on. Even when he's doing it. No. So, not very comforting, isn't it? It's really kind of sad. No. Nearly all the responses by Biden support in D.C. are based on feelings. Most could not even name one good thing the president has done after more than 2 months in office. Unfortunately, the responses in D.C. are unlikely not much different than many other parts of America. They accepted the Biden good, Trump bad. They accepted that storyline from mainstream media without critical thinking, or without any thinking at all. But keep in mind, Trump is the one who helped resource the vaccine, and now keeping calm in chaos may have more to do with not knowing what's happening than rather than keeping calm. And that's how a lot of people feel. They don't. If you ask conservatives one good thing Biden has done, they may have no answer. But instead of not knowing why, it is because he hasn't done anything good for the country. In fact, most agree he hasn't done much to help at all. And it,
some weeks we don't even know.
We got somebody in the chat. She's going to have to get a witch pen. Miss Jean said he's done a great job killing our country. Well, she did answer the question.
She did answer it, but
Jean, thank you.
Yeah.
Nikki said that Fox News is predicting 3 million people will be here by December coming across the border.
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
My next thing was, Trump supporters that were arrested at the Capitol?
Yeah.
They finally get a bit of this to get the first bit of good news. The prosecutors, hoping to imprison Trump supporters for the entirety over the January 6th Capitol kerfuffle. Oh boy. Are turning out to be blessedly incompetent. That's a good thing for Trump supporters, since not a single Republican in Congress is willing to stick their neck out for their own base, which they, that's kind of a 50-50 there. We'll talk about that later. Mm-hmm. When was the last time you did see a Republican speak out about the injustice of holding Trump supporters without bail? All right. That hasn't happened yet. Not once. Fortunately, the prosecutors seem to be blinded by Trump derangement syndrome, and they're making serious blunders that jeopardize some of their cases, which is good for the guys that are in jail.
Yeah.
In fairness, one Republican senator had said something that was sort of almost just about not nearly kind toward the Capitol protesters. Senator Ron Johnson, Minnesota, made headlines when he pointed out that he really wasn't worried for his own safety on January 6th. He didn't believe the Capitol protests were going to hurt anyone. It's not like they were BLM or Antifa. Naturally, that caused a few media heads to explode, since you're supposed to only refer to the protesters as dangerous armed insurrectionists or sedation, treason, and nefarious calamity.
I bet you can't say that twice.
Wow, I can't. Yeah. But other than Senator Johnson, every other Republican senator, from Ted Cruz to Mitt Romney, which I don't know why Mitt Romney's a Republican. He acts like a Democrat. Has insulted and slandered Donald Trump supporters because they delayed a meeting. Drama queen Bean Stacey, Republican from Nebraska, whined that the sacred Capitol has been desecrated. Blood has been spilled in the hallways. Well, honey, if you knew anything about history, you would understand that wasn't the first time. And how much blood do you think lost when they were building it?
Right.
I'm just saying.
Nah.
Yeah, that would be the blood of Ashley Babbitt, the San Diego housewife who traveled across the country to hear Trump speak at the rally and got murdered for her efforts.
You're right.
Mitch McConnell called the protest a failed insurrection.
Ooh. Mitch McConnell. And I think he's so sexy, but he's such a dick. We weren't talking about that.
We're not talking about that tonight. With friends like Mitch, it's a good thing the prosecutors are overzealous and incompetent. James Caldwell, a retired Navy veteran who needs assistance to move around, prosecutors have been trying to throw the book at him, despite the fact that he didn't hurt anyone or destroy anything on January 6th at the Capitol. They claimed in charging documents that Caldwell was a leader. Ooh, listen to this. The leader of the Oath Keepers, a Second Amendment fundraising group that often portrayed in the media as a militia. One of Caldwell's friends sent him a message via Facebook on January 6th that stated, "All members are in the tunnels under Capitol. Seal them in and turn the gas on." That's kind of a good plan. Just didn't go through. That obviously was a joke. You can say that it's tasteless, but is it as but you know something? They're after this guy for saying that, and they want to get this Caldwell too, because they think he should be in prison for making that joke. But I want to know, why did that little comedian Kathy Griffith not go to jail when she cut Trump's head off?
Mm-hmm. Or Madonna. Yeah.
Or
the vagina-wearing bitches.
Okay, yeah, we can't talk about that either. No vagina talk. They also admitted that they had no evidence on either one of them, so hopefully they let him out of jail. As you know, the one that they're talking about, James Caldwell, he is in a wheelchair, so I don't really think he could get a whole lot done. So it's just absolutely remarkable that prosecutors have been so willing to flat out lie and make things up out of thin air to imprison Donald Trump supporters. But it's even more remarkable that no Republican in Congress has had so far the courage to stand up and help these people out. Right. Because, why is it somebody this summer out in Seattle and out in
Portland, all those areas,
when they got arrested, our great Vice President Kamala Harris said, bail them out, and they got bailed out. Now, all these people that were down there in Washington, D.C., some of them are still sitting in jail.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Ted Cruz, why don't you tell them to let them out?
So, well, now we're going to have to tell you a little thing about, I want you to know, this came across the wire. It's, once again, guys, we're all working so hard here. Your tax dollars are at work. Biden's illegal migrants, because I'm going to call them illegal migrants, and fake refugees are being flown out across America. 40% of McAllen, Texas air traffic are now migrants.
Yep.
Wow. The Biden administration is now flying the thousands of migrants out of Texas. According to Gemma from OAN, 40% of the traffic they're all illegal, paid for by your tax dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And of course, no one knows about their COVID status. They were sent this yesterday from a reader in Dallas. This was sent to their newspaper. Yesterday, I flew in a commercial aircraft from DWF on a major carrier. A carrier who has removed small children from planes for not wearing a mask. These are Americans, and you can remember reading about that in the newspaper.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe what I witnessed, she said. They're allowing migrants with no ID to bypass TSA and fly. How is this safe for us? Could they be infected with COVID? Reports are, many are. Could they be terrorists? How is this safe? They come with a manila envelope, escorted to a seat with a paper stating, "Help, I do not speak any English." Hey, this is your tax dollars at work. You know, this is Biden's once again. So guess what, people? Once again, America, bend over. Because you got to take it somewhere. It's already coming out of your wallet and your back pocket, Pat. So
that's right. And who is so tired of supporting everybody?
Yeah. That town in Arizona, I forgot the name of it. All of a sudden, what was it, 500, 600 unaccompanied children. A town in Arizona, town in Arizona, 400, 500, 600 unaccompanied minor children, AMC, or UMC, that were just brought there and essentially dumped. Yeah. And the mayor has to make accommodations, housing, food, enroll them in school. You got no vaccine records, no medical records. You got nothing. I mean, just. How
many of just our own American citizens are living on the streets and they get nothing? Right. The mayors aren't doing anything. Our mayor in Nashua, we don't have a mayor in Hudson. We have in Nashua. He wants that $10 million. He wants that $10 million art thing.
Yeah.
Right?
No. 25.5 million.
Oh, 25.
A year ago it was 15.5.
Oh my God.
Now it's 25.5 million. Yeah.
And how many homeless people and homeless children do we see walking around Nashua?
Oh.
A lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. She's one of them. Yeah.
But she loves me.
Yeah.
Leland said not Minnesota. Oh, it's, I have it as he's from Minnesota. And he also said, there's no testicular fortitude in D.C. You're right. They've all gone that way of their theys. It's whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I'm not even going into that. That just pisses me off even more.
No.
It does. I'm just in that mood tonight because my husband's home state of Florida. Joe Locke, your home state of Florida. Bonafide Joe, your home state of Florida, and so many other drivers that we need in Florida. You guys got to start standing up for your state because right now, radical Islam is taking hold in Florida.
Yep.
While Joe, good old Sleepy Joe, reverses the Trump travel ban and immigration policies, they're having a big time with radical Islam. So.
You think?
On Monday, as we did, this was not reported in the news. An Islamic terrorist with ties to ISIS carried out a horrific attack in Colorado. We later learned that the terrorist that did this was Ahmed Al-Assa, is a Muslim Syrian refugee who was radicalized within the borders of the United States. This is one of the many terrorist attacks to have occurred in America over the last few decades at the hands of Syrian migrants. These repeated attacks warrant a further investigation into the radicalization and brainwashing that's taking place right here inside mosques throughout America. Unbeknown to most America, but very familiar to South Floridians, there's a rapidly growing Islamic terror problem in America. Most of them that were killed in 9/11 have either studied in Florida, lived in Florida, or attended mosque in Florida. There are countless examples of jihadist attacks in Florida. These are not being said to the media. But you all know the one that happened in Orlando in 2016, and then the one that happened in 2017 at Fort Lauderdale. And then there was one that in 2018, the Jupiter kid, the teenage, he slashed the throat of a 13-year-old boy in his sleep in the name of ISIS at a sleepover. In 2019, just days before the anniversary, a Muslim man by the name of Abdul Majid Mohammed Haliani was caught sabotaging a commercial airliner for American Airlines, disabling its navigation system shortly before it was set to take off with 150 people on board at Miami International Airport. It was later revealed by prosecutors during his bail trial, hearing that he had ties to ISIS. He was later sentenced, this is what kills me, to 3 years in prison.
And I got more than that for selling dope, but he gets 3 years. 3 years. 3 years. Oh, you summons Warlock. You said his name and he appeared.
That's right.
He loves us.
Recently, this guy out of the North Miami Islamic Center, Miami, this is what he put out on a video, and this is what kind of bothers me, because I can't say boy, girl, man, woman, mom, dad. I can't say black. I can't say.
Yep.
I can't say anything unless they're being racist tones. But this guy says, this is quoting him.
Quote.
Some people talk about normalization and say that these are good people. Are you crazy? You are fools. This is what you are. You sold your religion, you sold your people, your creed, your nations, and your nationalization. And you stand for nothing because you are the loser. This is what he says about Americans. You have nothing to stand up for, so you seek honors from others. Why do you go? The brothers of where do you go? Who do you go to? The brothers of the apes and pigs. The offspring of pigs and apes. That is who you seek your honor from. Criminals. Those people are criminals. There's no corruption in this world that the parentheses Jews are not behind. If they're seeking honor through infidels or not, are they proud of the infidels or not? Is this blasphemy or not? And this waking out of the fold of Islam or not? This wasn't the first time Dr. spoke ill of the other religious groups from inside a mosque in Miami, Florida. In the summer of 2020, he attacked Christianity and Black Lives Matter in an article written for the JNSC organized, and then he quoted him saying, Miami-based Imam Dr. Fahid Yusuf Kabu said during a recent sermon that he was saddened by Muslims participating in Black Lives Matter's protests because every lives mattered, and asserted that Christianity was the main problem in the West today. Later in the sermon, Kabuli said that according to Dwarfism, the European race must extreme the savage race of people with bigger lips and darker skin. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Isn't this
and
something?
That was a quote.
That's his quote. This is what's being taught in the mosque in Miami, Florida. I love Florida.
So JoJo's home, so he's in love with everybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Muslim Communities Association of South Florida is a member of the Allied Society of North America. It was founded in 1971 and registered with the state of Florida. Now, this radicalism should be no surprise to anyone, given that the Muslim communities and everything else, and the Muslim Brotherhood during the Holy Land Foundation terrorism trial, our nation's largest terrorism finance trial in U.S. history, the largest and most influential Muslim advocacy group in the United States, was found to have financial ties to Hamas, which is Hamas, one of the leading terrorist groups in the world. So, Florida, I love Florida. People have got to stand up. I mean, every day more and more Americans are being radicalized with our borders inside us in mosques like this in Miami, Florida, which is the worst. Who knows where the next GS attack on Florida will originate from and what Islam Center mosques they are currently attending. One thing is certain, Joe Biden's reversal of Donald Trump's travel ban from terror-tied Islamic countries and his obsession with identified politics and a hoax of Islamophobia is certainly making premeditated attacks much easier for every homegrown jihadist and radical Islam migrant in America. And not everybody that is Muslim, people remember that. They're not all extremists. Right. I mean, you have, like your extremist Baptists, and you have extremist Catholics. Extremists,
everybody's got,
this, when they just tote hate, and you just tote hate like that, and for them to say things like that about, black brothers and sisters, I think it's just terrible.
It is.
It's absolutely nightmare. I don't know. I'm just appalled by it all. And that brings us up to a commercial break. We're sitting here watching our producer, Joanna's toothpick, saying, commercial break, commercial break.
Which one you want? We'll give you this one.
One of both.
Break 19. Go ahead, Britt.
Well, thank you, driver. Let me tell you about OATS. That's the Outrageous American Truck Show at the Holmes County Fairgrounds at Harvest Ridge in beautiful Millersburg, Ohio. This event is happening July 8th through the 11th of 2021. This is not your typical truck show. We are featuring semi-truck pulls, bull riding, 2 days and nights of concerts, comedians, fireworks, a beer garden, and vendors. Of course, we will be having a Sunday church service. This will be the single greatest truck show that you will ever attend in trucking. Tickets come in 1-day passes, 2-day passes, and 4-day passes. Booths are available to vendors. To order your tickets, visit us at oats2021.com. That's OATS2021.com. You won't want to miss this event. Visit the site at oats2021.com and get your tickets today.
Hey drivers, TJ here. Are you a new owner-operator or an old owner-operator still using the same old broker? Well, here's some great news for you. You want to put some more profit into your pocket? Call RightLoad.com. RightLoad is your premier shipper, direct load board where you, the owner-operator, or the small independent carrier, or a company of any size, may book your next load directly from the shipper. No more dealing with brokers that want to keep the lion's share of the profit. Book your loads with RightLoad.com at www.RightLoad.com. Sign up is free. Really, you get that? Sign up is free. And you may book a load for the low price of $27 per load. Now, if you've been dealing with brokers, you know what a deal that is. That is far less than what any broker is going to charge you. Folks, don't delay. Sign up today at www.RightLoad.com. Matt Kane and his crew will take care of all your driver's necessities.
Yeah, we know.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
She's
It's coming in to win it.
Welcome back to TIBN. I have an echo, but that's okay. You're listening to us on Spreaker, YouTube.
Yep.
Oh, what an echo. What's going on over there on that control board? Sleeping.
Oh, no, I'm checking things out.
Sleeping again.
Check it out. Yep.
Your host tonight are BabyDool, TJ, and Nurse Patty. Welcome back, as I said a few minutes ago. We're glad you're back. We have Joe Locke. We haven't had talked to you in a long time, so if you want to call, you can. But he's at home, so he's probably just
he's lovey-dovey. He's all up.
He's home
he's
with
at home
with his girl.
Yeah.
Leland said, "Isn't hummus a spread for sandwich?" Yes, we love our sandwich. We love our sandwich. But you know, I have to tell you something. They're trying to pass that gun control bill, and of course, Texas isn't going to stand for it. I don't think New Hampshire or Maine, Vermont, there's a lot of states aren't going to stand for this new gun control bill. And what really upsets me, I don't know how anybody else feels about this, but we're going after normal people that have guns.
Yeah.
Now, we haven't, I can remember growing up in the 50s and the 60s. The only time I ever saw gun violence to a person was when that kid got shot at Kent State. That was back, late 70s, was it, Patty? Kent State?
Oh. I just remember the song, 4 Dead in Ohio by Crosby, Stills and Nash.
Yeah.
Geez, I can't remember the date.
I think that was the 70s. I think that was the 70s. But anyways, that was the first time, and that's when they started showing the Vietnam War on television. Before that, you didn't have all this mass. You always had murderers, guys. There was always people going to kill somebody. Whether it's with a gun, knife, rope, poison. What else? Cars.
Cyanide.
Well, that's poison.
Yeah.
Tractors running you over.
Yep.
They get caught in a hail baler.
Pipe bombs.
Oh, my God.
Can you imagine getting caught in a hail baler? Your arms and legs are sticking out of the bale hay.
Kent State shooting took place in 1970.
May 4th, 1970.
Yeah. So anyways, my point was, when we were growing up, we didn't have this little box that connected to our TV that taught us how to kill. And the more people you killed, the higher you went on that level. Okay? I see these games, and I see them with kids playing in the school. They are so graphic and so disgusting. When you can blow a guy's head off, and it's just like it's just like in real life, because the graphics are so great. Yeah. So now, from the time, I'm going to say from people probably from the age of probably 50 down, maybe 40, maybe 35. Let's go with 35, because that other 15 years, 35 to 50, you had like Pac-Man, you had all that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. But I would say from 35 down, you started with the graphics were getting better. The games were getting more violent and more violent and more violent. So why aren't we going after these people that are teaching our kids to be this violent? Because I actually had a kid in school one time tell me, I would like to start a riot in Nashua because I'm so stealth, I could beat those guys. I could beat the National Guard guys. And I'm looking at this kid, he's 12 years old, he's probably 5'2", 5'3", 110 pounds. They're going to squash you like a freaking bug. You're talking about a grown man. Oh, no, because I beat all these video games. I'm really good at killing. Well, that's a good thing to do when you're 12. And, it's disgusting to me that these parents even buy this crap for these kids. But it's just
they want our guns taken away from us.
They're going to take a gun away from a guy.
And they want to take my cartoons away from me.
Yep, we got our cartoons taken away. Yeah. Now, where I was going with this was, it's not just the gun, it's not just the violent games. The music is violent. Rap is so damn violent. It is so disgusting. It's all these women groups are out there. Oh, don't say this about women. Are you kidding me? Did you turn the freaking radio on and listen to that rap? Really?
Please.
Yeah, please.
Are the Grammys this year where they're on stage with dildos? Doing this dance shit?
Yeah, what's the girl?
And that's
Cardi
awesome.
B. Yeah. Right, Cardi B, and what was the name of the song that she, terrible.
Well, I don't even know.
Was it WAP?
I don't know, something about ass in it or something. It's like that.
Wet ass, and use your imagination for the P.
There we go. Yeah. Yes, that's yeah.
But that's wholesome. It's okay, and it's on public TV for everyone to see. But that's wholesome.
Right.
But my little skunk chasing a little cat is not wholesome.
Well, that's just... And I don't even know how they got racist out of that.
I don't either.
That Pepe Le Pew was
a
gentleman.
Pepe Le Pew was
Honest
a charmer.
To God.
He was a charmer.
Yeah.
Jean said whack.
Yeah, Pepe Le Pew going after perfume. I forgot what her name was. Yeah. And yet, there's one video game, and kids play it, that it's, was told about, that it's, they kidnap women.
Yes.
And then they send them out into the woods naked, and then the player of the game seeks her out with a gun to shoot her. Now, I'm sorry, two skunks having a little interaction, little fun on a Saturday morning. Really? We all grew up with that.
Wait a minute, you're confused. It was a skunk and a cat. That's why the cat was running.
Because
sorry, that's right.
Yeah, skunk.
Yeah, because the skunk, the skunk didn't realize it was a cat.
What is it beeping?
So what do they call that?
I don't know what's beeping.
I don't know.
I don't either. I'm not touching nothing.
It's really a show. Don't let them. Don't let them get you. Well, what bothered me today was, first of all, we get rid of Dr. Seuss because of that, and then Sesame Street had to put in a black dad and a black boy. I never realized on all the puppets. I never saw a white puppet. They were yellow, orange, green, blue, pink,
red Elmo.
Q&A session has started.
Green Oscar.
So I don't know what was happening with that. So, but now, yesterday, they took off the book called, oh my God, Captain Underpants, because it has subliminal racial tones.
Where do they get racial out of underpants?
I don't know.
Please!
So many kids
educate me.
Somebody said here math is being declared.
Nikki says math is racist. Well, I have to tell you that is true, because I hate math.
Math is racist? How the fuck? How How is it racist?
What terrible language. That was racist language. I heard that. Hey, let's find out what this mystery caller has to say.
All right.
Your mic is open, mystery caller.
Hey! What the hell going on in here?
Hey!
I hear all about this Islamophobic crap going on. I don't get it, man. What the hell's wrong with you people?
Hey, listen, you old man. You just come up here. You just come up here. We'll take care of you.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll take care of me.
Yeah.
You're not going to put no spell over me. I'm protected on Florida land right now. I got everything protecting me right now.
Well, yes, you have the jihads.
You have the jihads on now.
You're surrounded by the swamp people.
We got those jihads. So you better get all your guns together because they're coming for them, man. They're coming.
Yeah, right.
When it comes to the gun measures, if there's one thing I can guarantee any protection on, just keep all your guns on the second floor of the house, and Joe Biden will never, ever be able to get upstairs
Well, not before he breaks a leg.
Well, you know something? I have to say, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to let him go up the stairs. Because just to have that good, hearty laugh, I think that's priceless. There's nothing like a good, hearty laugh.
I can see Joe with his Beretta 9mm hanging from a fishing rod. Oh, you almost got it. Oh, you almost.
One more. Come on.
You all of a sudden see a chairlift on the downstairs, and he's trying to bring him down. And he's just like, unplug the chairlift. No, you almost got it. No, you almost got it. No, fuse box shut off. That's it. Don't worry about it.
Man.
Ladies, good evening to all of you.
Jeff.
By the way, terrific show. Love the promo, by the way. I just love the My Right Load promo that you've done, TJ.
Well,
excellent promo, by the way. God bless you.
Sean Mitchell just said, mystery caller, my black Irish ass. I don't think we're allowed to say that, are we?
Oh, right.
We have black Irish?
Yeah, there is a black Irish.
Well,
I don't think we're supposed to say that.
Yeah. That's like calling black people Irish. What an insult.
Oh my God, those
Black people.
That's terrible.
Irish is it really?
Technically, if you think about it, my girlfriend's son is black, and she's pretty, red hair, Irish, British, so, So there you go. There's proof right there.
That's an Irish.
There can be a black Irish.
That's a black English.
That's
ass.
right.
See? There you go.
Said English.
I know.
The big difference between England and Ireland.
Right.
I know my geography. Unless he's a Mr.
Well, he doesn't have red hair. That much I can guarantee you, ladies. So don't.
No,
that
English
part
people
is
do
out.
have red hair.
Just saying right there.
He doesn't have red hair? Well, that's just a shame.
On the gun measure provision bill that you girls were talking about, by the way, kudos to you on that because, aside from H.R. 127, which is one of the bills that we have to realistically watch out for, that is coming out of the state of Texas from Miss Sheila Jackson.
Oh, isn't she a nutcase?
We also, unfortunately, have the PRO Act. Okay, and the PRO Act does have gun measures applied to that particular bill. And so that is one of the things in how Congress specializes in trying to impede and spoon-fed taking away individual freedom and rights.
Yeah.
So, kudos on keeping up with that. And, getting together with states and helping the states become more sanctuary states is going to be one of the best ways to realistically fight this. The more states that we can gain among nullification, like John had pointed out, that they can nullify among these types of laws, as well as the fact that when especially it's unconstitutional. But, those are one of the things, there's a growing number of states now that are applying or considering become 2A sanctuary states.
Well,
So,
you can see that happening because I see not only happening with the voting, a lot of states are enacting changing their voting rights, which Congress isn't happy about. Well, not Congress. Well, the other houses. The Democrats aren't happy with it. But my whole point of bringing that up, Joe, was, here we are targeting guns. Why don't we target the source of mental illness? The mental illnesses people have is that they're taught at a young age that killing is okay. I'm telling you, I work with kids who have absolutely no conscience. When I was teaching in prison, I had a 16-year-old boy who shot a taxi cab driver for $5. And what he told me was, and I'm looking at this kid, there's nothing there. There's no conscience, no nothing. He said it's just like playing a video game.
So here's the issue, Tracy, with your mental illness cases. In this bill in H.R. 127, she actually put in there that in order for you to obtain a weapon, You have to go prove competency. You have to go take a mental evaluation.
But and who's going to? But the problem is, even with the psychiatrists and the school psychiatrists, are so easily fooled. I mean, they follow this little. They put you in this little box. Everybody has to fit inside this box. But I can tell you, a lot of these kids and a lot of these people know how to get around that because they've been playing this game all their life.
Here's a concern. How come it is that 4 years of Donald Trump's presidency, we didn't have any school shootings, we didn't have any outbursts of such, but as soon as Biden's elected, or so-called elected, I say he's appointed, but just the same, we're starting to have these shootings back to back again.
Well, you notice the one in Colorado. It's not being talked about. It's kind of out of the news right away because once they found out it was not a white man that did it, it was all done. That was it. He was Syrian, and that was it. That was it. It's all underneath the waters. No one's talking about it. He's going to get some mental help, and that was it. But I'm sure if it was like the other ones, it'd still be all in the news.
Oh, and y'all are talking about the mental issue. You know, there are some mental patients that are very intelligent that can pass the mental illness test. Yes,
they know how to play.
They don't know how to play it. They're smarter than we are most of the time.
Yep.
Hey, I may be crazy, but I'm not stupid.
It's a criminal element that's not being realistically pursued because law enforcement hands are tied. And when you continuously tie law enforcement hands, then what do you expect from them? You know, people have this assumption that they have this idea that there's a serve and there's the protect, okay? Law enforcement is meant to serve to the law and protect the law. It doesn't mean it's supposed to serve and protect you as an individual.
No, exactly.
You as an individual have to step among your own place. When a law enforcement officer steps to above and beyond its own duty to save your life or to be in front of danger, that is what he or she decides to do among themselves. It's not that the law or anything that entitles them to saying you have to do this. No, they have to serve to the law, and they have to actually enact among the law.
Wait a minute now, because some states they actually have. I think there was a court ruling on it, and I can't remember the exact. Was it Burr or something? Burr versus California. I can't remember where they went into his home, and basically what they're saying now is if you might show suicidal tendencies, if you might, and it doesn't even have to be. It just has to be a spouse or somebody declared it, and then so in this one case. It wasn't even a case like that. He didn't agree to surrender his weapons, and they went in there. They decided that he was going to go for psychological evaluation. They took his guns out of his home as soon as he left. And
locked up because he had boys in the house, but nope, they took them. So I don't know. Each state's going to have to make some pretty hard decisions, I think. But I think we ought to be starting to stop a lot of this violence because, you know, violence begets violence. And if this is all our kids are playing, this is all they're learning, you know. You know, we have this cancel culture that cancels everything, but they're certainly not canceling the violence. They're not canceling the music that just demoralizes women. They're not doing all of that, you know. Rape this and rape that. Well, listen to what these kids are listening to. They have no filters anymore. They have no coping skills.
No.
They're not being taught. They're not being taught any of that.
Well, they don't have a moral compass. They don't have a basic
the Democrats, or many of the anti-gun establishments into the pariah, over and over again, they kept saying, we're not taking your guns away. We're not here to take your guns away. We're not going to take your guns away. And now, of course, you see the anti-gun pariah coming out all wide out in the open. And everybody's just seemed to be screaming and yelling about Benito when he said that during the Democratic National debates. They have been trying to do these types of measures of being able to take more or less firearms away from the individual. It's not even just the firearm itself. They want to take away the right of an individual's choice. The Second Amendment is about a choice. You could choose to enact it, or you could choose not to enact it. But when you have states, for instance, that prevent it and pollute it, and tried to say basically, no, you have to get a gun purchase permit. No, you're in a state that's a shall issue state. In other words, like New York, for instance, the shall issue state, basically in New York. Okay, in order to be able to obtain a firearm of any kind, you must obtain a purchase permit before you can obtain an actual firearm. It goes for a shotgun, rifle, handgun, you name it. Now, if an individual is to try to get a carry permit, in the state of New York, which is even just even forget about it, because it's basically decides on whether if you're viable, if you're either wealthy enough, or if you are known enough, or if you have a true viable reason. And the viability is not for the common person. So that's the measure of what they want to take away from an individual.
Right. It's getting so bad that some states are ruling up air-powered rifle as a weapon and a firearm, and you can't have.
Well, when they're going to start taking our knives and our forks away and our spoons, because in Europe they have more knife murders than they do.
Hey, as long as I have aqua hairspray and a cigarette lighter, I'm good.
Homemade napalm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And a couple of few spells too while you're at it.
Well, you know what's a scary thing? I got to tell you what's a scary thing. You go to, I'm going to say this, you go over into CVS, you get a package of 40 tampons, you soak them in a little gas, pop, 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 and people run away.
You set those on fire, they're going to burn for a while.
That's a good idea.
Throw that in somebody's car.
Right.
And 40, hey, they'll start outlawing tampons.
Oh God, no. We could. It's bad enough dealing with that time of the month. But take away their tampons. No, thank you. Lord have mercy. I'm running for the hills.
There'll be tampon grenades before you know it, John. You better watch it.
Yeah.
I got a couple of ideas on that one now. You better watch it, John.
Like, whip them over.
There's a lot of old tricks, you know. Back in the day, they used to take stuff like Tide soap and mix it with diesel fuel or gasoline, and you got napalm. You can use microwaves for weapons. I mean, you can if you have a desire to cause harm to people. And there was a guy one time got arrested for that. He took a microwave, took the door out, took the clip off, put the clip back in the microwave, so he had an open microwave, put it in his window, and was irradiating his neighbor's house because he was pissed at him.
Hey, let me put my potato on the windowsill, okay? Give me a few minutes. I got a couple of slices of pizza.
Microwave energy can do some serious damage. It can do permanent damage if it's high enough power.
But listen, I'm telling you.
Yep.
I just think we need to start. We need to start where a lot of this violence coming from. And I noticed over the last 20, 25 years, it's getting worse and worse. Our kids are subject to so much violence, so much sex and violence, constantly in the face. Oh, Sean wants me to send those to Camellia with a note for example.
And I want to give a shout out to one of my old co-hosts. Kevin Young is in the house. Mr. Truck and Roundup himself.
Who you see that?
Nice.
Yeah. I've been talking to him.
Doing?
I think Kim and Bear Bear is going to open up a show, and I told him to come see you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Well, there was something else that was kind of amazing today, I thought. And everybody, I hope this is some good news for some people in Alabama.
Alabama.
Oh,
God. Here we go.
Amazon had a vote today.
Oh, yeah.
The counting began today at an Amazon warehouse in Pasadena, Alabama, after nearly 6,000 workers cast ballots on whether to form a union. The effort is the biggest unionization push in the company's 25-year history. I didn't know they were on for 25 years. Wow. This is viewed as the bellwether for the broader labor movement in the U.S. Amazon is the country's, I didn't know this one either, second largest employer with roughly 950,000 workers in the U.S., 400,000 of which have been hired within the last year as online shopping boomed amid this pandemic. Labor advocates say a vote to unionize could set off a chain reaction across the country's other states. Amazon officials say the average pay at this location is $15.30 per hour, more than twice the minimum wage, and workers receive health and dental benefits. Organizers also view this facility with 85% of the workers are black as a foothold in the South where union membership is half the national average. So we can expect the result next week. I think that is absolutely amazing for people, for anybody. I don't care what color you are. I think that's amazing to start getting unions back in this country because, boy, we're going to need them.
Oh, then you're like the PRO Act.
Yeah, the South, we don't have unions anymore, and that's astonishing to see that they're going to allow the union to come down there to Amazon.
I'm in a union, and it has pros and cons.
Yeah.
a lot of pros is that I live in a work at will state, so having a union, if they don't like the way I look, dress, or whatever, obviously work at will, they can fire me. They don't have to give me a reason. But being in the union now, they have to give me a reason. But the con about the union, you can have someone that's been there for 25, 30 years that does absolutely nothing, and they have a hard time getting rid of him because he's in the union. So there's a pro and a con to it. And I think some of the pros outweigh some of the cons.
Yeah.
It gives the worker a little more of incentive to do things. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, Kevin, I hear you. Kevin said he's driving or he'd be communicating more.
Well, ladies, I'm going to let you go. Great show, by the way. I really, really appreciate you letting me on board, by the way.
We love you, Warlock. Joe Lock.
Bye, Leland.
All right.
Thank
you. Take care.
Bye, hon. Take care.
You too.
Well, we have quite a lot of interesting things. What time is it?
7:10.
7:10. Okay, we had a lot of things going on tonight. My other thing I wanted to talk a little bit about was the WHO report has been reported inconclusive. I'm sure this is quite the shock to everybody that between the World Health Organization and China, it's just the report's inconclusive. I just don't understand that. Do you understand that? Because I just don't get it.
I'm still trying to figure out who is. Who?
Yeah, well.
Okay, WHO is the World Health Organization that I'm talking about. She knows. So, I mean, they went there to see what the origins of this coronavirus, but they can't find an answer. Okay.
Really? It's such a mystery.
I know. The key questions were when, where, and how that this virus started. But but I don't think what they ever come out and tell us on the Wuhan clinic where they said it started, they never really reported until 6 or 7 months later that our fellow American Bill Gates puts a lot of money into that clinic, and so does Dr. Fauci.
Yep.
Yeah, so why are they finding everything inconclusive?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I was a naughty girl today. I kind of told the Bill Gates Foundation when they instant messaged me for something. I said, tell Bill Gates I said go F himself. And she said, what? I said, click.
Yeah. God.
Yeah.
I did do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now, I know, it's something else. I didn't even do anything with the stupid March Madness basketball crap because I don't care about crap like that. I just don't. I know a lot of people like basketball, but you know something? Those guys make way too much money. And as far as I'm concerned, any actor, sports person, or song, or anything, music people, I don't care about your opinion. I look at the movies because I want to be entertained. I listen to the music because, once again, I want to be entertained. I do not care to hear your political views because, as a drama teacher, I teach people how to act like somebody else and make you and look you right in the face to make you believe who they are. So when you're telling me I should believe in this or that, not going to happen. Sorry, kid, that's it.
Hey, Jaybird.
Ghislaine Maxwell faces 2 new charges, including sex trafficking of a minor. Big surprise there, right?
No.
Now, this is. I found this really weird. Here's some weird news. Nike sues company who made rapper Lil Nas X's. What the hell name is that?
Right.
$1,000 satin dollar. That cost $1,000 for satin shoes, which contains an actual drop of human blood in the soles. This is what I'm talking about.
Why the hell we need blood in shoes?
This is what I'm talking about.
It's not concerned for a biohazard, is it?
I don't know, but I mean, $1,000 to get his drop of blood. Are you freaking kidding me? And they want to take guns from people? How about taking care of
and they want you to use chemical-filled cleaning agents that could certainly, oftentimes are, carcinogenic, but we're going to put a drop of blood in the sole of a sneaker?
We're talking about the people of the same party that thinks full-term abortion is okay. But don't objectify women, but it's okay to objectify that baby, while at the same time, let's get rid of guns because we got to preserve life.
Yeah.
Nothing makes sense of what they're saying on the left.
No, the whole world is gone crazy.
In the Science and Technology report today, the Biden administration announces a goal of installing 30 gigawatts of offshore wind power by 2030. 50% more current projections would provide enough power for 10 million homes. What are you, crazy?
No.
I don't get this.
Robot maker. They did a whole article on it, and the cost of it is prohibitive, number one, even to begin with, and you'll never make your money back on that wind power to that degree. I mean, I'm sure.
No.
So, no.
Now, here's an interesting thing for truck drivers. A robot maker, Boston Dynamics, unveils Stretch, a mobile warehouse robot capable of moving up to 800 boxes per hour, comparable to a union. So not only truck drivers are going to be out of jobs, our warehouse people are going to be out of jobs.
Yep.
So if you know any warehouse friends, you better tell them they better get in line with the drivers and stop protesting.
They wouldn't believe you anyway. It's not in their lifetime. I'm so sick of hearing it ain't in my lifetime.
Amazon union, agreement that they won't be replaced
by a robot.
You've seen robotics coming in since the 1970s, right? In the auto manufacturing industries.
Yeah.
They displace people and put people out of work. Then it's just going to get worse.
Right.
But what's the end result? I mean, what's the purpose of putting people out of jobs? What are you going to do with non-working individuals? Are you going to feed them for the rest of their lives? You're going to clothe them? You're going to shelter them? You're going to give them money for free?
We're doing that now, honey.
Yeah, we're
starting that now.
We're doing a percentage of that now. But the point is, it's like Social Security. This is how I compare it. Social Security. When Social Security would come out, it was Social Security retirement. It was a continuation of your income until the day you die. Somehow, about 1980, it turns into... No. It's not retirement. It's supplement. And this is how government works. Let's give you the whole works, the whole enchilada, and over time we'll keep taking more and more of it away until you got nothing.
Yep,
that's exactly what we're talking about here. Once we get the machines doing all the work, we're going to pay you not to work to, hey, you know what? Go out and forage. Go out and fend for yourselves. We really don't need human life. Let's just use people for Solvent Green.
Well, I hated that movie. It scared the hell out of me.
Well, you have to work 40 quarters in order to qualify for Social Security. So if robots and AI take over, then people aren't going to be working their quarters, so there'll be no Social Security.
There you go.
There's a planned obsolescence right there. We will unemploy everybody, and then no more Social Security.
You know something? Like I said, Patty, let's turn around and bend over, because you're going to get it one way or the other. You might as well just get used to it.
Yeah,
bend over.
Yeah. It's coming at you, baby.
Go buy the Vaseline.
Yeah, we're gonna need some. Nope, we're gonna need some Lena Lube there coming up.
Lena Lube's got.
I forgot Lena Lube. Yes, that is what we need.
Political and world affairs today. Opening statements were made in the murder trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin. With first two witnesses called, defense argues George Floyd's death was primarily caused by heart problems and drug use, not his restraint. I don't know. That's going to play out. But folks, that guy doesn't have a chance either way.
No.
Wildfires, this is sad, has burned through almost 1,000 acres in South Dakota, causing hundreds to evacuate their homes and forcing the closure of Mount Rushmore. Oh, I just feel so bad for people when that happens. Oh, it's just terrible.
Oh, I know. And I feel, I know it. I certainly feel bad for people, but I feel bad for animals too, because
I don't want to know about that part. Because I'm going to feel bad.
Yeah.
I'm going to want to go out there and help them. My next one was, this is I'm waiting to see how this plays out, everybody. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who thinks so highly of himself, named a bridge after himself, is writing a book because he's just so wonderful. He faces his ninth accusation of inappropriate behavior and sexual harassment.
This is my gift to Andrew Cuomo. Yeah.
Okay. Sherry Ville accuses Como of forcibly kissing her in front of family members while the governor was in her town surveying flood damage in 2010. You know something? If he kissed me, I'd be grossed out. I'm sorry. He's just not attractive.
You couldn't even put a paper bag on it.
You want somebody kissing you. I mean, it's one thing it's your husband, but if you're going to have somebody come, like, make it like James Franco or some really good-looking actor or somebody.
Tony Soprano.
There you go. Tony Soprano. He's a fat guy.
But he's so good.
Oh, he's not. Oh, my God.
Him. I like him. He's my
Patty.
type.
Look at Patty. That's what you're getting.
Yeah. Here you go. Oh, hi, Andrew. Oh, hi. Yeah. You want to put a paper bag over his head? I'd like to put a plastic bag over it.
Yes. With a tie on it.
Well, I mean, really, how many people did he kill in his own state? How many voters / constituents? Anyway, he needs to go to jail. Yeah.
From the party of we need to outlaw guns to protect life.
That's right. Yes, because, with just the swoop of one directive, all seniors with COVID who need a little extra help are all going to go to nursing homes. Yeah. That was. Yep.
Well, here's some little weird news for people. U.S. church attendance has dipped below half, which we knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Okay. You can go online to an app that's called Drives Through the Suez Canal. You can take your hand at steering through, but don't get stuck. The entire Louvre collection is now free online. So if you would like to see what they have in Paris at the Louvre, that would be an interesting thing to look up at sometime when you're sitting in your truck. That might be pretty interesting.
Wow.
You know?
Jesus.
Heavy rains bring waterfalls to Australia's most famous rocks. Check it out, guys. Do you know top Los Angeles lifeguards make more than $300,000 per year? Are you freaking kidding me? I'm in the wrong business.
How does that happen?
I don't know. I was a lifeguard. I didn't make nothing. I made what, $15 an hour.
Hell, you was rich, girl. Make 15 down.
Yeah.
And the next one is in history today. Vincent van Gogh was born. The Treaty of Paris ends in the Crimean War. President Ronald Reagan survived shooting by John Hickel.
That was today.
That was today. I mean, can you? That's huh?
Wow.
It's just something. What is it? Killing grannies and grabbing fannies. You got to read that one. That was bad.
Oh.
Jojo, he put killing grannies and grabbing fannies. Andrew Cuomo at its best. I mean, that can be really bad.
Killing grannies and grabbing
fannies. Talk about our dumbass yet, have you?
No, I'm going to do the dumbass in 1 minute, but I have some interesting facts for you people who like facts.
Okay, we got some facts.
Here is a dubious achievement, and they're going to go to the state of New Jersey. Jersey is the #1 in the nation for hazardous waste sites. You dump your trash in Jersey. I think we all kind of knew that, right?
Right.
They keep it that way to hide the bodies.
Yeah.
Is that
why? Now listen. Now this is everybody needs to know this fact. I mean, this is something that's you got to keep in your head, okay?
Yeah.
Why did Mick Jagger have the enameled filling on his front tooth replaced with a diamond? Because people kept telling him he had a piece of spinach in his teeth. And for all you people out there who are interested in farting contests, farting contests were held in ancient Japan. Prizes were for the loudest and the duration of a fart.
God.
Okay?
Well, Jay Bird, you got something new to learn, son. Farting.
So, guys, keep that up there. And, as you don't, in case you don't know this, Goofy. Okay? Pretty Goofy. Disney Goofy was once married. Oh, this is Disney. This is terrible. To an unnamed mystery woman. Goofy is really married, and they're hiding her out. So we don't know what she really is.
Huh.
So that's interesting to find out. So, here's what time is it? Is it time? Oh,
yes. It's about that time.
It's time.
Dumbass.
This is the dumbass of the week. How come we have no music with dumbass of the week?
Yeah, we do need something funny for the dumbass.
I guess I'm going to have to get to doing my job again.
Yeah.
Right.
We did have music for Peanut Gallery,
Wake up
but it's not
over
the same.
Well, first of all, I wanted to tell you that NASA says dangerous asteroid is still 100 years away from the Earth. I don't think I have to sweat that one out.
Yeah, or my great-grandchildren.
Yeah, we'll have to. Might be gone by then the way this is going.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Cooking with the fishes. Fugitive. Mafioso arrested. Not such a wise guys after all. The law finally caught up with Mark Ferrin Claude Bayet, a member of the notorious Nagrajata crime family, on the run for years after he posted cooking videos on YouTube. He was living in the Dominican Republic, avoiding charges of cocaine trafficking and etc., whatever else he was into. But he wasn't cooking the books, though. He just couldn't resist showing off his culinary skills. The 53-year-old hid his face in the videos, but landed in hot water when police recognized his distinctive tattoos. Hundreds of his gang members are set to be grilled at the biggest mafia trial Italy has seen in decades later this year. So, here's a lesson to all you criminals out there waiting. Right? If you are a criminal and you're on the run, don't go on YouTube. Don't go on MySpace. Don't go on Facebook. Don't go on any social media. You know, even if you think you're covering your face with your hat or something, but when you're covering your hat, you have a hat on like this, and you cover your whole face, but your arms, you have a little tank top on, and all your arms have all your tattoos on them that the cops have. Let me think. Yeah, the odds are you're getting caught. You're getting busted.
Are your mafia friends that you...
The one
that rates up there with the guy on Storage Wars that was wanted for crimes. What was he, breaking and entering or something? He was the one that carried all the money and was flaunting it. And it turned out that he was wanted, and they saw him in Storage Wars and went and arrested him.
Yep. So that's our lineup for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, please support our groups. Support Truckers United for
go to our page and like and share.
And Transportation Community Hour. Sign into Witch. Check out Baby Doll's Facebook. She does a little lunch blog if you want to call and talk to her. Especially if you talk dirty, because she'll talk to you.
No, I won't either, because all I said was bitch today, and I'm in jail for 3 days.
That's right. You can't talk.
I wasn't even being mean. I was being sweet.
So you can't talk to her till next week.
Right, next week.
Please support Sovereign Roads. Give Ron a shout out over there. Truckers for Vets, Truckers for Christ. With Scotty, like I said, Truckers for Vet. Talk to Joe Barretto if you want information on that. Truckers Back the Blue, Truckers Room to Spare, Truckers Final Mile. God, we all know how sad that is.
Oh, goodness.
If you can give to that, that's to bring our drivers home when they pass away on the road. That's always so sad. And Real Women in Trucking and She Trucking, take a look at their websites.
Yes.
Such fascinating information. All the stuff that they're gone through. They're in Congress. They're working hard for drivers. Give them a shout out. You know, give them a look at. We appreciate that. Rightload.com, Matt Kane. You know, give him a call. He can help you guys. You know, honestly, he's a good guy. And again, you can find us on YouTube, Spreaker, and Twitter. That's our show tonight. Good night, Miss Nurse Patty. Oh, Patty, your banana bread was delicious. I sent you a message, but you didn't get it.
Oh, so good.
Oh, really? Oh, I had a little piece of it. I didn't think it was that good.
Did you
put a little butter on it, and it's solid. Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you warm it up and put some butter. Oh, yeah, you can't go wrong. Oh, yeah, cinnamon butter. Oh, I didn't bring it.
Yes, but she didn't bring us any more cinnamon butter.
I want to wish you all a happy Easter. To everybody.
That's right. Happy Easter. Happy Passover. Happy Passover. Happy Easter.
Happy Passover.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because none of my Jewish friends are making me any latkes, so I'm not. Maybe I shouldn't say anything. I love potato pancakes.
Let's give a shout out to my grandbabies. They're gonna have a good Easter.
Yeah.
So I hear Saturday night Joe Biden's hiding all the eggs so he can look for them Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, on the White House lawn. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, that's it, folks. Good night, everybody. Happy Easter. Night. Be safe. Remember, believe in America, not the media. Good night.
Amen.
My granddad said there's nothing scarier than a pissed off woman with a point to prove.